Assalamu alaikum and welcome to episode 2 of season 3, The Catering Circle. But this is where it's actually called the Restaurant Star Show, because this is where it's all about to happen, and we're going to find our star right here on Channel S. As you all remember, last season we had 96 participants taking part in the Catering Circle and only 12 were crowned as winners. But now we are in hunt for the Restaurant Star. We've already had our episode 1, so let's go take a look at what happened in the last episode.
Welcome to Catering Circle Season 3.
I'd like to see a nice balance on the plate.
Find that they have passed the testing, the first one, then I will say yes, thumbs up.
The pricing, what sort of price they will be selling it for.
Some cases we are saying healthy, but it's not actually healthy.
First thing is very good name, Jalali Chikini.
The person who has created that dish, he has shown, demonstrated all of those qualities in a fantastic way.
At the moment, it looks like it's very, very close.
Or is that a name? What's
So
it
there's a little bit of curiosity there, which is
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
But look at the name of the, I would like to come to a conclusion that what could be the ingredients.
Are just giving the ingredients names, and it's straight to the point. Customer sees it, understands it.
Salmon aspara. The name is derived from the two main ingredients, salmon and asparagus.
With authentic flavours of Indian flavours, definitely for me gives it that wow element to it.
For what they've done, they haven't just got involved in a competition, they are leading by example.
Roast ox with 26 points, salmon aspara with 24, Kalinji red with 8 points.
Twitter, I've got a percentage of followers that have a lot of followers.
My channel of marketing, which has been really popular for me, has been social media.
You know, I like the fact that, you know, they don't let anything get too boring, because it's really important to work seasonally.
We'll also market this dish as a coming from sustainable, environmentally friendly source.
So far, so
Word
good.
of mouth is very important.
Remember that these are the guys who are not only promoting or marketing their own products, but in fact they are spreading their own culture.
Marketing is all about the actual product itself. If your product is good, you'll get customers, you'll get referrals.
There you have it. This is where it was all happening right here on Channel S. We are looking for our restaurant star of this year, and I cannot wait to see who's going to be crowned. Now, just to let you know a little bit about the show, this is where the 12 finalists get together, and actually we get to choose who the real winner should be. Now, the participants have submitted their recipe, and they usually do this before filming the Catering Circle show, and each restaurant gets filmed. We have diners going there to try the food, and we have our diners review. We have 4 rounds in each episode. First round is presentation, taste, innovation, value for money, diners review, and of course the videos will be played out as well, so you can get a bit of a feel of what it's really like. Round 2, this is where the participants get involved and we ask them about their story, so they talk to us about their story. Round 3 is about marketing and branding, and of course we look at the healthy side to things and the nutrition value. Round 4 is all about profit margin. Are you making a profit? What are you doing so differently that everyone should be following? So that's our episode for the next few weeks. But to help find the winner, we of course have 3 panel judges. We also have 4 special judges, and we have 3 mentors. But let me introduce you today to our panel judges, starting with Mr. MD Abdul Haq, who's obviously the Vice Chair of Channel S Television, IT and Media Specialist, and a very successful businessman. And of course, I'm so proud to say that you are the man behind this entire show. How does it feel to have such a huge introduction?
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you very much. I think £50 notes coming on the way.
Only 50? I was hoping a bit more.
No, thank you very much. I think the whole idea of this show is to help the industry. And when there is a crisis, Channel is always there. And this is a crisis for our industry. We are just a platform provider. So the whole concept is to unite the industry. We have all the leaders are involved one way or another. And most important is coming up with solutions that will work for the industry. It's all about really putting our own contribution, healthy dishes. This year is all about marketing, judging, and 12 dishes that we're going to create. It has to help the menu innovation.
Yeah.
That's what
How
we're
was it? I mean, obviously I wasn't here in the first episode, unfortunately. I wasn't in the country, but did you get to taste it? Were you a part of it?
We can't judge on that because what happens is we go and record the food and the dishes. Unfortunately, the customer is this year is involved. So
Excellent.
they've got an app where they review it themselves, and we will see the results in a bit about
so
their
it's fully on the Diners Review.
Diners Reviews, yes.
When it comes
so
to
this
the
year we're
taste.
getting customer involved as well on our show.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank
I'd
you,
like to
Nadia.
now introduce our next panel member, the founder and president of British Bangladesh Chamber of Women Entrepreneurs, as well as the founder and chairperson of a charity called People Like Us. Now, you have loads of experience when it comes to charity, when it comes to entrepreneurial skills. You're a restaurateur yourself, and you're here today. How are you feeling? I mean, are you feeling quite nervous for these participants? We've got 3 on this episode, but they must be super nervous. What would you like to say to them?
I think I'd like to say, obviously, I'm very pleased to be here and support the industry. And the industry is in a sort of challenging momentum at the moment. For the contestants or for the participants here, I'd like to say best of wishes, good luck, and I'm sure they're doing their level best in terms of innovation and creativity. So good luck.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, we have Mr. Faisal Ahmed, Chairman of British Bangladeshi Business Forum, and of course you're a multi-outlet operator. Now you're here as well, and you're holding the scores. You've got a lot of scores. Now our panel judges hold 60% of the votes, which is 20 marks each. That's a huge chunk. What would you like to say to them? How can they score that 20 marks from you? What are you looking for today?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me here. I'm the chair of the British Bangladeshi Business Forum, we are part of it anyway.
Yes.
We try to improve our business, which way we find any excuse, we just try to help them. The main things is related not one thing, it's related everything, almost which one you go to up to 4, 1 to 4. So one rated another.
Yeah. So what's your number 1 tip for today's contestants?
Number 1 tip is when they open the right way, all the equipment is there.
Okay.
Just to make sure there's and the second thing's the right person. They should employ the right person.
Yes, of course.
The chef,
Yeah.
cook, waiter. Then the premises. Now at the moment, we used to say word of mouth.
Yeah.
Now you can put word of mouth and social media.
Of course, absolutely.
Social media is very important.
Yeah.
So they click and they find out what is your score.
Yeah, absolutely.
They find out what is the review you've done these things. So you have to be very careful with all these things.
Absolutely.
And another things
I'm not
we
going
have
to
to
let you
understand.
tell me everything.
Yeah,
I'm going to stop you there. You can tell me later. We don't want to give them all the answers right now.
Okay.
I know you're very enthusiastic and you want to give them all the help possible, but I'm going to be the evil one today, and I'm going to stop everyone when I think that they're giving away way too much. So we're going to stop you right there, and I'm going to introduce my audience and of course the participants to our special judges today. We've got Dr. Sanwar Chowdhury, chartered accountant. You've got loads of businesses. If I sit here and I go through all the businesses, we'll never stop. Go check him out on Facebook, guys. He's a huge Facebooker. I'm now going to move on to Ms. Sharina Ali, head of global PR and brand at Merlin Entertainment. You've been in this industry for about 15 years or longer. Yeah. You've been doing it for years now, so it's great to have you here because you can really give an insight into branding. We've also got Mr. Farooq Mir, MBE. Now, you've been awarded as a winning educator and, you know, a foodie. That's all I'm going to say, because you know everything when it comes to food. There you are, exactly. So it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. And then last but not least, we have a chef consultant right here with us, Mr. Soham Sonavani. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we cannot wait to hear your expertise. And I'm sure you have a lot to tell our contestants today. Thank you very much. You guys hold 40% of the votes today, so that's quite a bit as well. You haven't met anyone, right? Have they fed you in their restaurants? No? No, we'll leave it as no. Okay, let's move on. You want to go? Okay. Just to let the participants know, they do want to go. Right, we're going to move on to our mentors who have been actually helping our participants and really giving them some guidance. We have Mr. Ali Khan, General Secretary of Bangladesh Caterers Association. Thank you so much for coming on. You know, I can carry on forever with your saying what you do. You're a celebrity chef. You've been in the industry for ages. Having you here as a mentor, I really do think they're super lucky because you can really share your success with them, and I can't wait to hear what you've got to say. We've also got Mr. Wasim Sharwani, the Director of Training at Welcome Skills. You've also been awarded quite a few times, so thank you so much for coming on and again for being such a great mentor. Last but not least, I have Ms. Arlene Odamoa. Did I say that correctly? There you are, nearly close enough. Training consultant, over 14 years of experience, especially within, you know, with food safety training and, of course, anything to do with food. You've got to go to Arlene. Thank you so much for coming on. Those were our special mentors who we had to literally handpick out of the community and get them to come here and be the best for our contestants. Now, are you ready for round one? Because I sure am. Round one is all about our participants and it's about their profiles, so let's go check it out. Excellent. That is all our participants that are here today to take part of the Restaurant Star show. It's all about the creative dishes and how they've actually created their dishes. Now, I've got our participants here with us. So before we go to them, I'm going to ask the mentors to actually to tell us a little bit. But before I tell you guys about, before you read out the diner reviews, which I'm super excited about, I actually want to see what the dishes were all about. So let's go check out what the dishes were like.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to School of Spice in Shepherdton. আমি এখন আপনাকে একটা নতুন ডিশ আমরা তৈরি করছি, সেইটা কুক করে দেখাবো। এখন এই ডিশটা তৈরি করতে যা যা দরকার তা আপনাদেরকে আমি দেখাবো। চিকেন ব্রেস্ট, হলুদ, গুঁড়া মশলা, চিলি, একটা মিক্স হার্বস, গ্রিন চিলি কুচি, ধনিয়া কুচি, আদা বাটা, রসুন বাটা, লবণ, এখানে আছে তেজপাতা, সিনামন স্টিক, অনিয়ন কুচি, তৈল লাগবে আর ইয়োগার্ট লাগবে। এটা হেলদি অপশন ইয়োগার্ট। প্রথমে আমার চিকেন টুকরাগুলো আমি ম্যারিনেট করব। জাস্ট এ পিঞ্চ অফ লবণ, এখন আমার চিকেনগুলো ম্যারিনেট হয়ে গেছে, আমি এই চিকেনগুলো স্টিমারে রাখবো। ওকে, এখন আমার ভেজিটেবল একটা স্টিম করবো। তার আগে আমি শুধু লবণ আর একটু স্পাইস দিব, যেটা আমার মিক্স হার্বে মিক্স আছে। আমার চিকেন অ্যান্ড ভেজিটেবল এখন স্টিম হয়ে গেছে আমি একটা সস বানাবো আমার চিকেনটা হয়ে গেল এখন আমরা ডেকোরেট করব সার্ভ করব রাইস দিয়ে এই হলো আমাদের ফিস্ট অফ নবাব আপনাদেরকে সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ
Here at the School of Spice, we believe in the traditional menu, just taking out the elements of the grease, the fat, and giving you the nutrients.
His main element is that he's steaming the chicken, the vegetables, and presenting the food in a way that customers want these days.
Great, let's go. There you have it. That recipe looked absolutely amazing. I'm going to go straight to my special judges first. And I'm going to ask Farouk and Mia. Firstly, could you kindly tell me, what did you think of that recipe?
Was the idea to get...
Get slightly hungry?
Yeah.
It's working. It's perfectly
That's
fine.
not fair. I think they've all done a tremendous job. They seem to be very creative, innovative, and that's what we're looking for. You know, new dishes that are coming out, meeting the needs of, you know, the diners now, rather than just sticking to your traditional chicken tikka masala and thing. So it looked amazing, and I can't actually wait to get invites to come out and try them all.
Excellent. Thank you so much. How about you, Sharina? What did you think?
I think it was really, really well thought out. Each of the dishes have been really, really well thought out in terms of the current trends, the health aspect, and I you know, so far, I think equally, you know, 10 out of 10 at the moment. For me, I just need to look at a bit more in terms of the dishes.
Thank you so much. I'm going to come straight to the mentor, and I'm going to ask the mentor to now tell me what was the comments from the customers.
We had some feedback from some of the customers. Phil said the food was great and it was value for money. Spencer said that it was a very enjoyable meal. He would definitely recommend it. And finally, Damon said it was a unique and stunning dish presented exceptionally. So there were some good comments from the customers who came to the Spice of School.
And how do you think he could have maybe made that, you know, gave it that little touch to make it better?
Well, a lot of it is dependent on presentation and also how the customer service from the people at the front is done. There are a lot of other things that go beyond just the dish. People are looking for atmosphere. They're looking for a good time. They're looking for good customer service.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for that. And you know what? Well done to everyone that participated. And of course, we will be speaking to our participants. But let's go take a look at what the scores were and what the Diners Review had scored our participants today. Let's take a look at the current vote results. And the results, Cinnamon Salmon gets 97 points. Congratulations. And straight after, we've got Feast of Nobab with 79 points and Anardana Chicken with 78. Congratulations to all three. Well done. I'm going to go straight to our special judges, and I'm going to ask Sanwa Chowdhury. You know, the scores are very close. They're really, really close. Do you think that, you know, they're based on obviously the Diners Review, real life customers. How do you think they could really change it up and get their score slightly higher next time?
Well, haven't we come a long way? I mean, the sophistication with which those dishes were prepared is amazing. You know, that could sit anywhere globally with any cuisine and do well for itself. I think the scores could be improved by simply, being a lot more innovative in terms of being healthy, being health conscious, because a lot of people are very health conscious now, so they don't want the traditional curry spice. They want something with a bit of a twist, bit of a flavor. And I think a lot of us, when we go out, we want to have grilled food, we want to have Lebanese, that type of food. So if we can cross-pollinate those ideas and bring some other tastes into our culinary skills, I think that would do wonders.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm going to go straight to Mr. Sanavani and ask you the same sort of question. Trying to please customers when it comes to the Diners Review, it's probably the most hardest thing to do. What do you think they really need to take into account?
I think the dishes what I've seen so far is very good. They're trying to look into the basic of nutrients and everything, and also I think the presentation is more in impacting now to the customers. It says that less is more.
Yeah.
So if you have enough quantity of food in the plate and you have a different way of putting the food in the plate, will really impact more customers, more revenue. And also when you do these dishes, how we gonna communicate this to the customers? By presenting it to the table and then explaining what is gone beyond to make this dish more successful, more flavorsome.
Yeah.
It all impacts because the customers now needs more knowledge. And they're getting more involved in the food as well. Being healthy is a basic concept. So
it's very
explaining
important.
the dish to the customer is a more and more need from now.
And how do you think they can explain this?
I think the training as well acts very important. And now is a more trend. The chefs coming outside, being more live cooking, and then getting engaged to the customers is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And the guest loves to see chefs in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So that's the added bonus for it. So
absolutely.
Not even the service, but the chefs coming out from the kitchen, more interactions, more communications.
Yeah.
It helps to boost the atmosphere more nicely.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a very added bonus to gain the business and retain that business as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for that advice. I'm going to go to our panel judges now, and I'm going to ask Mr. Huck to just let us know of his views. What did you feel about the scores? How do you feel about it?
I think
compared to last week as well.
Last week, I think it's all about nowadays. It's all about quality food, value for money, and presentations. So people go there not to just eat themselves to meet hunger. It's more about the whole experience.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people dine for. So seeing those dishes that very creatively designed, a lot of the youngsters nowadays go and dine to post picture on Facebook. Now, if the food quality doesn't look good, the presentation isn't good, people are not going to come back. So it's nice to see all the dishes that we've seen so far. It's beautiful presentations and always something different, especially current trend being maintained, like healthy and a bit of gimmicks here and there. So, customers seems to like it, and that's quite a good news for us.
Absolutely. Well, I know our panel judges have a lot to say, but I will take your comments a bit later on. I think we're ready to move on to round two, which is where we actually get to meet our participants. So let's go to round two. So we've already had a look at your recipe, and we've got some great comments from that. It was it was all about Feast of Nawab. It was absolutely lovely, and it's great to have you here. So if I could ask you to introduce yourself to our audience today and our judges, and tell us, what is your story?
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Fahad from the School of Spice. So the main reason we created this dish was we wanted something to be light and nutritious and quite easy to prepare, and eliminate the factors of greasiness and non-nutritional curry that everyone assumes curry is. The reason we called it Feast of Nawab is I thought Nawab means king, so the feast is good enough for a king. It should be good enough to serve nationwide in any Indian restaurant. The wow factor taste. The taste, well, we wanted to give you the nutrients of the dish. That's why we steamed everything, rather than pouring oil and pouring, gravy and making it all nice, all wet. We have a lot of customers nowadays that love Indian food, but think it's too heavy for them, so they only have it, say, once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks on a cheat day. So this dish will give them the opportunity to have a cheat day every day of the week. That was the main concept behind the dish we created.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Fahad, for coming on and for sharing your story. And I wish you the best of luck. I'm going to ask you to take a step back now and go and rest while we go check out our second recipe now. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to our judges first, and I'm going to actually speak to our mentor, so I'm going to speak to Oli Khan. Oli Khan, if I could quickly ask you, I mean, Fahad had a lot to say. Do you think what he said was absolutely correct, and what advice would you give to him?
First of all, I think Farhad had actually explained very well, because the innovation was there, and the way he have actually explained is like this is the new generation that we want them to be involved within the car industry. So it's very good that he's got some innovative idea, and my advice to them would be, keep doing the good work, because that's how we can motivate other youngsters to come to the field and do better within this car industry.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Fahad, we have you back here. Sorry, I thought you could have a quick break. My producers want you to carry on speaking, so I'm going to ask you to carry on telling us about your success story, please.
Okay, my success story starts with my father.
He did already.
He opened the restaurant in the early 90s. He's been doing it, for the last 35, 40 years. So my aim was to move the restaurant industry into the 21st century. So he's given me the foundations to build on, basically. And so this is my aim. I want to make sure that the curry industry lives on. Just because people's palates changes, you just got to adapt to the 21st century and stick to what you do, I guess. I believe in the traditional menu, so I want to still produce that food, just take all the bad elements out of it and give you the good elements. And that's how we run our business. Everything's always fresh. We check all produce that we buy, because we want to make sure we give in a nutritious meal to every customer, whether it be a curry, whether it be a mixed grill, it doesn't matter. Everything has to be nutritious for us. But this dish was clear was to emphasize the nutrition factor of this of the curry, basically. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm going to open it up to the floor, and if you have any questions to ask him about his dish, please go ahead. If I could ask you to use the mic, that'd be great.
Is this a one-off dish, or how often do you try to give your customers an opportunity to try something special from your chef?
Okay, so pretty much every day you can try something. So most places I know, probably every Indian restaurant owner probably knows this. A customer will always ask for a staff curry that you have at the end of the night. What do you eat? We want to try something like that. So at the end of the night, we always have staff curry. Customers actually have our staff curry at the restaurant, so they'll wait till the end of the evening and come in at the end of the evening so they can have the staff curry, because it's cooked after all business is done. So we try to give new dishes all the time. It's just, if something doesn't work, you take it off your menu. You offer it to a customer. Before it even goes on a menu, we try it out. We ask a regular customer, would you like to try something that we've just created? And 9 times out of 10, they try it, simply because they know we're not going to guide them in the wrong way. We're always going to try to give them a flavoursome dish, and they won't be disappointed.
I personally think it's a really good idea. I'll tell you why. Because
if I could ask you to use the mic.
Traditionally, our restaurants have done similar sort of dishes for a long time.
Yeah.
So I've been to a number of restaurants whereby I order my own dishes, whatever I want, but they give me like taster menu kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's a really good way to get people to try things that they wouldn't normally try. And I know you're not charging them, but it's your opportunity to get people to like something that they haven't.
Do you know what? Yeah. One last question. I know Sharina has a question.
the name of your dish, Feast of Nawab, there's a lot of connotations of the word Nawab with luxury and sumptuous ingredients, rich creams and things like that.
Yeah.
Feast is also something that suggests that it's a very rich dish.
Yeah.
But your description, it's a great dish, suggests that you were saying your unique selling point is it's healthy and nutritious. How do you counteract the fact that a lot of customers will assume that Feast of Nawab is a very rich dish, because the name suggests that it's the opposite of what you're actually offering, which is healthy, variety, and something that is complementary and nutritious to the body.
Really good question.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a minute to answer that.
The thing is, feast can be taken in so many different ways. It could be from a small meal to like a massive meal. It doesn't matter. Even if you sit down for a feast, doesn't mean you're going to eat every single thing on the table. So we kind of wanted to give it that idea that you're going to be full after having the meal. And the Nawab for us, like you say, is rich. We wanted to kind of put a little spin on it, like it's good enough for a king, it's good enough for everyone. That's the aim why we done something. We kind of twisted with words, basically. Yeah, that was our main aim with that.
Thank you so much. We have a minute before we go on a break. Our panel judges, would you like to ask a question to Lara Khan? Or?
I think Serena, picked up on
Serena,
my issue was with Feast and Nawab, because particularly in Dhaka, Nawab is very well known in the in Asia continent also about richness, luxury, everything. But you've given an explanation, so.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much. Mr. Ahmed, do you have a question?
No, just you created a new dish. So, what's the name of this new dish? Is it related to dish? Anything?
No, we wanted to give it a name that you'd remember. Feast of Nawab is gonna Feast is a common name, so everyone is gonna remember that. Nawab, we thought we'd put a twist on it with obviously the kings that used to run India and etc. So we thought we kind of mix a bit of like old school with a bit of new school. So that was the aim, really. Yeah.
Just quickly, 30 seconds. Just say the wow factor really about this dish, because the whole concept is to help the industry and also
our biggest
make
thing
some money
was
out of it.
Everything is steamed. That was our biggest thing. We steamed the vegetables, we steamed the chicken. That was the whole idea behind it, to make sure that you're not putting it in a pan and cooking the chicken from rawness, and using loads of oil and stuff like that to get the meat to cook. So that was the main thing. We wanted to marinate it, steam it, and then put it in the pan, so you can use minimum of everything then.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that.
No problem.
We're going to go on a quick break, and of course you can be a part of this. All you've got to do is follow us on the Catering Circle on socials and send us your tweets, your messages, or follow us on Instagram and tag us with your recipe or what you're eating tonight. We'll be back straight after a quick break. Welcome back to the Catering Circle, the Restaurant Star Show. This is where we are on the hunt for our restaurant star. We're still on our recipes, and I cannot wait to see what Cinnamon Spice has in store for us. They put together a lovely cinnamon salmon. Let's go check out the recipe.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Cinnamon Spice, Ashford, Kent. Today we will be cooking a speciality, our new innovative dish called cinnamon salmon. Now I will show you the ingredients that we will be using. Chickpeas, lime, cucumber, peppers, tomatoes, mixed vegetables, curry powder, mixed curry powder, turmeric, tandoori masala, fenugreek leaf, which is methi fata, tomato puree, coriander, radish, black pepper. We also have the fresh salmon here, and some also spring onion and tamarind chutney. We will now marinate the salmon in tamarind chutney sauce and mint. We will heat the non-stick pan for a couple of minutes to warm it up. And then we will be using extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to add some peppers, some green and red peppers. Put that on low heat. And then at the same time, I'm going to start to make my salad. Now we will be cooking the vegetable rice. Extra virgin olive oil. Our salmon is ready now. Our vegetable rice is also ready now. Now I will be doing the decoration. Okay. This is our innovative dish, cinnamon salmon.
So his cooking was innovative. The salmon cinnamon was fantastic, and the structure was there, the aroma was there, the presentation was there.
It has high in protein. It has omega-3 fatty acids. It has great source of potassium. It's very light and refreshing. It's a perfect dish for a summer's day.
Cinnamon salmon by Cinnamon Spice. And do you know what? I'm not a salmon fan, but that looked absolutely amazing and really, really delicious. I'd love to have a taste of that. But I'll tell you what, I do have Ash Mir here from Cinnamon Spice. Thank you so much for joining us today. Now, I'd really like to know a bit more about the dish. I'd like to know about the wow factor and why you chose this dish in particular. But before you start, I'd like to remind you that this is a round, so I will time you just like I did with Fahad. You'll have exactly 2 minutes to talk about your story and your dish. So your time starts now.
Thank you, Nadia. Assalamu alaikum. The reason, first of all, the name is cinnamon salmon with vegetable rice. The reason we chose this particular dish is because it's incorporated with our brand name, Cinnamon Spice. We had a focus group with 20 customers, and we asked them what they would prefer in this extreme hot weather. So what they wanted was very simple. They wanted a healthy, light, and a dry dish. So we had to come up with this. So that was the dish. We created cinnamon salmon, and one of the reasons cinnamon, I chose particularly cinnamon, is cinnamon has got cinnamon salmon is cinnamon. The salmon has got fantastic health benefits. It's got omega-3 fatty acid, great source of protein, high in vitamin B, also good source of potassium, and also it covers your 5 a day, recommended, advised by the doctors. We actually cooked it pan fried with extra virgin olive oil, which gives that crispy taste rather than cooking it in the steam. It's marinated, rather than just putting salt and pepper, we marinated it in tamarind sauce to give that extra flavor. Very juicy as well. The salmon is actually locally sourced, so we have no problem with sourcing the salmon. And most importantly, we realized that the customer wanted this particular dish for this extreme hot weather, and it's very light, and it's dry, and it's perfect.
Thank you so much. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, that's it pretty much. We've covered everything on that particular dish.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to move straight across to your mentor who had, you were very lucky to have actually, to really guide you and support you. So if I could ask Adi Khan to say a few words about this dish.
Actually I was present at the time he made the dish, and
how did it taste?
It tastes fantastic because it's something new.
Yeah.
You can actually introduce to your menu.
Could you describe the taste?
The taste was like you can taste the cinnamon, which was the very fine cinnamon powder was there, and the salmon was like normally you just have a normal salmon with the salt and pepper, but this one has a tamarind taste, and it's got some aromatic flavor in it with the cinnamon, as well as like the salad that he has created, 5-a-day salads, which was like with the used a touch of salad cream, which gives a bit of boosting to the dish, and so that was a fusion twist, I would say, and I really liked it because the way he have actually presented it, the presentation was there, the aroma was there, the structure was there, so everything you need from a food, which everything was there, and also it's a very cost effective.
Yeah.
So he also got some review from the customers, which I'm going to read out now.
Yes,
Yeah. So one of his customer have reviewed. Her name is Mo, and she said this dish was extraordinarily delicious. I absolutely loved every single flavor and detail to it. Nothing you would have an ordinary Bangladeshi restaurants. Cannot fault how tasty the dish was. Would recommend all the time.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That's a great review. Absolutely. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to go straight to one of our special judges, Mr. Soham Sonavani, and I'm going to ask you the same question. I mean, the dish looked absolutely amazing, and we've heard the story behind it from Ashmia. What would you like to say? What would you like to comment? And is there anything else you'd like to know?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, the dish look visually very nice, and there is a good combination of using the summer vegetable like peppers and the chickpea. Chickpea has a very added texture because chickpea is a very healthiest root at the minute. We use a lot of chickpeas in all the dishes. It's a very good combination. It's got some nice colors to the dish as well, which adds an extra texture. And I believe if the customer has tried it and he's loved it, and believe that, of course, it's like a 1-star dish.
Absolutely.
So it's got nice colors, got the taste. The tamarind, of course, tamarind is more in like sour in nature, can act nicely with the sweet salmon. So it also gives that extra flavor for the salmon as well. And yeah, I think it fits well to the dish and to the environment as well. Since we're in summer, so well done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Faisal Ahmed. What would you like to say?
Well, it looks great actually, but I don't know why you choose the pan fried rather than going to tandoor, because tandoor is available there as well. So
the difficulty is in the tandoori is difficult. The salmon can break, as my executive chef Oli Khan mentioned that it had structure, because what he's trying to explain that is salmon didn't break. In the tandoori is more difficult. So the cooking process is more easier, more tastier, because when you pan fry it, you're pan frying it with olive oil. So you got obviously it's very healthy, but it's very crispy, very tasty. That's what the end user wants, taste.
Yeah, absolutely. How important to Lara Khan is the presentation of the dish?
Of the dish. I saw the presentation, and personally, I mean, I'm a very sort of person. I'm a chef pro as well myself, and I try out I make up lots of new dishes myself. But I think in terms of the presentation, I didn't see anything fascinating. Wow! I didn't look at it and think it was wonderful. It's something new. It's the usual presentation with a bit of salad there, the wiggly stuff, and the fish. It was good, but it wasn't something out of ordinary.
Looking back from the focus group, we worked on the focus group, what the customers wanted. I mean, this is extreme hot weather, as I mentioned earlier. So you don't want something heavy, full. I mean, we could have made it more adventurous, but this particular weather, we'll change the menu in 6 months' time, as soon as we come into the autumn period. And I will be changing the menu. I've got a new menu coming. It's called the VIP menu, because we are one of the finest UK Bangladeshi restaurant, which just received 5 stars from America, Hall of Fame winner, TripAdvisor Hall of Fame winner. So for that, we got to deliver the customers a new VIP menu, and exactly what we're going to do. And the plates are going to come from Harrods.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much to Lara Khan. Oh, would you like to sit on this side? We're going to take no questions right now, sir.
The more I ask you, the more I'm going to grill you guys, because you guys are standing under the heat.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you sit there, Mr. Ashmir. I'll let you cool down now. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a break. You can go back and sit down and have a nice cold glass of water.
That's fine, and you can enjoy the sun.
While we move on to our third recipe. Let's go check it out.
আজকে আমি আপনাদের সামনে একটি নতুন ডিশ তৈরি করব। ডিশটির নাম হলো আনারদানা চিকেন। আনারদানা চিকেনটি তৈরি করতে যে সমস্ত জিনিস ব্যবহার করা হয় তা আমি আপনাকে এখন একটি একটি করে দেখাবো। এই ডিশটি তৈরি করতে অলিভ অয়েল, তন্দুরি পাউডার, আনারদানা পাউডার, গ্রিন সল্ট, গ্রিন পেপার, টমেটো, ইয়োগার্ট, অনিয়ন, দালচিনি, তেজপাতা, গার্লিক, গ্রিন চিলি, লেমন এবং আনারদানা। চিকেনটি এখন আমি ম্যারিনেট করব। চিকেনটা ম্যারিনেট হয়ে গেছে, এখন 5 মিনিটের জন্য আমরা এইভাবে রাখবই। 5 মিনিট শেষ হয়ে গেছে, এখন চিকেনটি আমরা কুক করব। আমাদের চিকেনটা এখন তৈরি হয়ে গেছে, আমরা এখন একটি সস বানাবো। আমাদের চিকেন এবং সস রেডি, এখন আমরা প্রেজেন্টেশন করবো। এই হলো আমাদের আনারদানা চিকেন।
So with the dried anardana powder, we took the traditional recipe of creating with the curry to give the sweet and sour texture, and also using as a herb which is beneficial for the health.
It still has familiar flavours of what we associate with going out for an Indian meal, but it has new and innovative ideas, new flavours, new influences, and also I was also impressed that there wasn't a lot of oil used in the dish.
That looked absolutely tasty. I wish I knew how to cook like that, but I really don't. That was from Royston Tandoori. That was an anardana chicken, and I have none other than Safwan Chowdhury with us today. Hi and welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You all right?
Good, thank you. And do you know what? I really wish I could cook like that. But I'll tell you what.
So do I.
But I'll tell you what. I'd really like to know your story behind this dish, and if you could kindly share it with our panel judges, special judges. Again, same as all the other participants, you have 120 seconds and your time starts now.
Before I start, I wanted to say something. Whilst we're here in the studio doing this brilliant cause in creating the innovation and betterment of our British Bangladesh industry, at the back of my mind is the current situation in Bangladesh, a sentiment I think resonates with everyone in the studio. There's nothing more as a student that we want than safer roads for Bangladesh and peace. So whatever is going on, I hope the situation gets Bangladesh.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And so to the dish, as a restaurateur, my journey has always been about culinary architecture. I like stories. As when I go dine out, I like to relate to stories, and I like to think other foodies, they like stories as well when they go out to dine. So it's not just about the food, but the experience and the story behind the dish. So with anardana chicken, I went on quite a long journey searching for different dishes that we haven't seen on menus before. This was generally for my new menu, and an era I chose was called the British Raj era. There's a lot of different dishes the English in India liked, such as railway curry, anardana chicken, various dishes we don't see on menus, which are quite easy and innovative to make. And the task was set to come up with a dish and bring it to Channel S. And I really was stuck. I had so many ideas, I didn't know what to choose, but anardana was one that was always on the list. And it wasn't until I went to Turkey last month that I decided, yes, I'm going to stick to this pomegranate dish because it's a dish I haven't seen on menus before. And I read thousands of menus every year. we go through thousands of menus for ideas, and anadana is something I haven't seen, which is a common ingredient, easily found. It's basically dried pomegranate seed powder, which adds flavour to a dish, sweet and sour texture. But combining the task was the innovation and rolling out a dish that's realistically able to roll out to the country. Indian cuisine is notorious for the red colours, the yellows, the sweet, and I had to combat that. I had to make a dish that was not heavy in sugar and is not boring in colour. So the presentation with fresh pomegranate helped me give a new presentation, something that lights up to the customer's eyes. The pink, naturally pink, I must say, rosewater and pomegranate garnish, that was not mentioned in the title of the dish, but on the menu it would be written anadana chicken and served with rice and a fresh rosewater and pomegranate sauce, the relish that was on the side. That just gives that demand for the colour and the sweet flavour. So with the dish, we wanted to create something that's different, so we've combined an ingredient called Himalayan pink salt, which is slightly more expensive.
I'm going to let you finish this sentence off.
But it was more heavy in nutrients, and we found it's quite strong, so instead of using normal table salt, we could use this and in less quantity. So that's what I have to say with the dish.
Thank you very much. I'm going to come straight to Arlene first, the mentor. What do you have to say? I mean, were you a part of this experience?
Yes, I was. And in fact,
I'm going to ask you to hold the mic.
I also took my daughter along to have a taste, and we both really enjoyed the dish. And what we also enjoyed is enthusiasm,
yeah,
you know, and the discovery of pomegranate, because it's now very in thing to have pomegranate juice, pomegranate with everything, and so it was a good way to incorporate something which is new with an existing cuisine.
And what was the taste like?
It was very delicate. We could taste the chicken. We could also taste the sweetness, the sour flavors coming through. We also had the traditional sort of curry flavor coming through also. But everything was really quite delicate and was very easy to eat.
Yeah.
You know, it was not, there was no excess fat in it. So it satisfied that low fat craze that we have now, but it also was very nutritious because, as Safwan says, chicken, there's protein there, but the pomegranate also has a lot of other health benefits, and the presentation was also very good. And it's also adaptable for a takeaway restaurant, which he has, and also for serving in a normal restaurant. And I think it's very easy to send out and to establish itself in the community in general.
Thank you very much. Do you have any reviews you'd like to read out?
Yes, we have. From Faye, the use of pomegranate was something new, and I liked how the flavour blended well within the dish.
Thank you very much.
And also,
I'll take one more. Go ahead.
Mackenzie said, incredible food, great flavours, top-class flavours, consistently outstanding, amazing Indian cuisine.
It looks true. Thank you so much. I'm going to come straight to the panel judges now, and I'm going to ask you to deliberate on what you thought of the dishes. So if I could start with Mr. Huck.
Firstly, is chicken, so it's widely available. So if we were to roll out this dish nationwide, one of the challenge was, so it has to be easy to cook and we can roll out. So that's easy to source. So it's very good. The name itself and the story you told us is, I really, really liked it. So that's very good. When I seen the size of the dish, it's quite big. It's massive. Two chunks of chicken. I think 3-4 people can eat it. So are you going to make good money out of that? Is there a good GP out of this, or is it going to be?
We looked at the margin, which was okay, but from feedback from diners especially, highlighted the portion was too big. So whilst the profit margin is good as it is, we can improve on it by quartering or halving the portion size, by making the chicken thinner or making the pieces smaller. So that's something we can definitely look into. But price-wise, we priced the dish at $14.95, which worked for us gross profit-wise. But when we cut the portion, it will be even more profitable. So I think
there's another round for that. So we're going to discuss about that. No problem. As long as the portion size is right, it's good. Plus, I think it's about time we can attract different nation of people. Myself, I eat out, but I can't find any good dishes I want to eat from Indian restaurant. But now with these healthy options, fish and chicken, I will spend a bit of money as well. So and that's a good attraction for everybody.
Thanks.
All done.
Okay, I'm going to go straight to Dilara Khan and ask you to tell us, what do you think Safwan could have actually done to maybe make that look a bit better? Because when it comes to decorations and making sure it's on point, you're the lady.
Okay, I think Safwan, the idea, and I think in terms of the durability, is super. Decoration, again, I think just having, everything behind it is great, but I think when it's on the plate, the meat pieces were chunky, and because the color is less there, so in terms of eye and looking at it, it doesn't look beautiful. So I think size is a factor there, and I think presentation, you have to improve on that presentation. I particularly didn't find it enticing to actually have this piece of meat. So
Definitely something to improve.
I think your idea is great because you put anardana chicken, which is rather than pomegranate chicken. You name it. Because a lot of Indian restaurant in England, the green masala is quite popular. They're using anardana, which one to tell you. But I think is end of the day is presentation plus taste.
Taste, yeah.
And combination of the spice. So if you do the proper combination, it's going to be great. And people like, this is new something, the people think, oh, anandana is pomegranate, is very strong. How they blend it, So I think you could sell more.
Definitely.
If you do proper marketing, and also another things as well, the pomegranate combination is very important.
Definitely.
With the other spice.
Something I didn't mention was the pomegranate sauce. That was one of the innovation ideas, that this sauce is more of an Iranian Turkish ingredient, which is the very thick, syrupy kind of sauce.
Bangladeshi people don't use pomegranate, but Indian people, they use
do,
a lot.
yeah, the powder, the dry powder
Indian
is
shop and find
the traditional element. Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to go straight to our special judges, and Dr. Sanwa Chowdhury. How did you find that? I mean, this is our third recipe. I really cannot decide which one my favourite one was.
I'm really excited by the passion shown by all three participants. I mean, these are the guys of the future. I think they will definitely bring the catering industry to a new level. I think to a bigger and wider market. I think they're hitting all the right buttons. Some of the research, the extensive research that Safwan has done is amazing. He's not only looking at what others have done, but he's also going back into history, looking at what the Raj used to do. And that sort of brings back not only a bit of nostalgia, but a bit of innovation that will bring, hopefully, transformational outcomes. So, well done.
Shrina?
I really liked your dish because I think a lot of people, when they're looking at how to modernise and innovate, they look at modern trends. And you've done something that people think is typical, but it's not. It's looking at our heritage. And a lot of people don't realise that before the Mughals came to India was vegetarian, so the Mughals brought the Turkish and the Persian chefs. They bought these things like sumac, like pomegranate, dried pomegranate powder. And what I really like is something you did with the salt. You've used these ingredients like the pomegranate seeds, and these are native to countries that are hot. So when you're using this in a dish like your anardana chicken, it's also a dish that is perfect for the summer, because the ingredients of any country is always for that climate. So the Middle Eastern ingredients like the pomegranate seeds, etc., that have always existed because of the Mughals in our cuisine, you using them in the summer is really, really great because it naturally will cool people down. And the other thing with the Himalayan salt and also your use of the pomegranates, they're exceptionally good with antioxidants, and also like pomegranates are really good for your cardiovascular and heart disease. Himalayan salt makes your body alkaline, which reduces chronic inflammation for arthritis, things like that. So I really like your ingredients and the fact that you've given a nod to history. And Bangladesh is a melting pot of multiple nationalities, and I think you've used our heritage ingredients, but because we're partly Burmese, partly Nepalese, partly Persian, all of these countries, we need to start using a lot more of their ingredients, because we are a pot that is mixed. So we should mix that into our innovative ingredients and dishes.
Thank you so much for that. I've definitely been educated, and I'll try and make something like that at home, and maybe Dilara Khan can come and give me a little bit of a grilling on how my presentation is on the food. I'm going to ask the rest of the participants to please come and join Safwan, and whilst they do that, I just want to remind everybody at home that our panel judges hold 60% of the votes and our special judges hold 40% of the votes. I am still waiting for one person to put their votes through. And once that goes through, I will get the live results right here on my iPad, which I am looking forward to sharing with you guys. And I just want to say you guys did absolutely amazing. Next time, I'd like an invite, please, with my entire family. I think we all do, right? And all of us. When I said family, I meant I meant the Restaurant Star Show family. So, you know, we'd all like to go and join. I'm just waiting to hear back from Control Room to say if it's okay for me to share the results. Once I get that, I will go ahead and I will share the results. And I want to say thank you so much to you guys as well for being able to actually guide them and support them. So I have the results right here. So for round 2, this is how it stands. Just waiting for it to come up. There we are. In third place, we have Feast of Nawab. Well done, Fahad, with 58 points. We then have in second place Cinnamon Salmon with 76 points. Well done to you as well, Ashmia. And in first place, we have Anardana Chicken. We have none other than Safwan Chaudhry in first place with the round 2. I will now let you guys know who's where at the moment with round 1 and round 2 combined, and that's what the points look like. So Feast of Nawab is on 155 points, Cinnamon Salmon 155 as well, so there's a bit of a tie right there. And in first place we have the Anardana Chicken with 160 points. So very, very close. You know, these points at the end of it, it's all out of 400 points. So you guys are really, really close. You're getting there. But it's so close. It's really, really close. I'm going to ask Fahad to come forward and say a few words, you know, being in second place and with Ash Mia, which is very, very close. How are you feeling?
Yeah, not too bad.
More rounds to come.
More rounds, yeah. Now I'm competing against some great guys, so
yeah.
So I know it's going to be difficult anyway. But yeah, I hope obviously the strongest man will win, and yeah, I've got nothing but
absolutely
our best wishes for them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Obviously, right now, Safwan's on a high because he's 5 marks ahead of the boys. But like one of our judges mentioned, there's still 2 more rounds to go. But all of that coming up straight after a quick break. Welcome back to Season 3, Episode 2. I'd like to apologise because there was a typo and actually show you guys the correct results of Round 1 and Round 2 combined. And the scores are as this. In first place, we have Cinnamon Salmon with 173 points. In second place, Feast of Nawab with 137. Second place, we have Anardana Chicken with 160 points. And in third place, we have Feast of Nawab with 137 points. Congratulations to everyone once again, and well done on your achievements. But don't you worry, because you still have 2 more rounds, and as you all know, 60% of the votes are with our panel judges and 40% with our special judges. So let's move on to round 3. So in this round, it's all about marketing and branding. I know, I can see Sharina, her eyes are just like, she's just lit up. She's like, yeah, it's all about marketing and branding. And this is where you guys really get to talk about how you market and brand your dish and of course your services. So you have 60 seconds in this round, and Fahad, you're going to kick things off. So your 60 seconds start now.
Okay, thank you. So the way we marketed this dish in our restaurant is by speaking to customers, referrals. Basically, we ask the customer if they'd like to try something, rather than doing all these like gimmicks and stuff. We speak to our patrons because they are the ones who are coming into the restaurant, spending the money. That's our main way of marketing. And now, thanks to Channel S, there's more than 500,000 Bengalis in the UK. If 50% of them watch this program, they might get them. I guarantee you there's going to be people that run restaurants will probably try to make one of the dishes that we have shown, not just me and my competitors, to create a new dish nationwide. So yeah, that's basically it. We don't really use social media a lot because we're in a small village, so we're trying to cater to our patrons. But if this dish takes off, maybe Channel S can help with moving it forward.
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask you to elaborate on that. You have 10 more seconds. Is there anything that you do that's different? What's your unique selling point?
So everything we buy is fresh. We don't buy one load of stock every week. We have several deliveries throughout the week to make sure we always have fresh ingredients. We're not here to stock up and stuff. That's not the way we run our business. We don't even advertise our business. Our business is word of mouth. All our patrons are word of mouth. Everybody sends somebody. I tell you, to give you an example. Last week he had a gent. He lives in Newcastle, but he's working down here at a power plant, and he actually watched some of the ingredients come into the restaurant, and this is why he comes to the restaurant.
Thank you very much. I'm going to stop you there. Thank you so much. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Thank you. I'm going to now ask our next contestant to please make their way. So, Mr. Ashmir from Cinnamon Spice, thank you so much for staying with us. Congratulations again for round 1 and round 2. You still have time to make it up. We've got 60% of the votes here, 40% right there. You can still be the winner and crowned the restaurant star. So your time starts now. Same question. It's all about marketing and branding.
So we'll have a professional photographer and a videographer into the restaurant to take great visual shots of the dish. We have a great follower on Instagram and social media Facebook page. What we'll also do to hit a bigger audience, mass audience, we'll also have it on a radio show, our local radio, which has over 1 million listeners. We'll be inviting food critics, connoisseurs. We'll also be doing a B2B, business-to-business marketing. This is for corporate clients, which has got a bigger spender on the Amex corporate company card. And also, this is a new marketing technique we've been using. We've been working with Cineworld, and we've got our brand name in their toilets, and also we're working on a trailer. So before you watch the movie, there's going to be a minute trailer. Also, we're part of the Kent Chambers group as a business to business. And finally, we'll be showcasing cooking programs into the local school of Kent and demonstrating this particular dish, a free cooking demo. And finally, you might think this is a very very expensive way of marketing technique, but actually it's all networking links that I've created over the last 13 years in business, and it's very cost effective.
Thank you very much.
We do have 3,500 people on our database for text messaging services, and another 1,500 to 2,000 on our email database. So
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for that. Congratulations and well done. I'm going to now ask Safwan Chowdhury to make his way from Royston Tandoori, and also again share his story about branding and marketing. And again, it's the same thing for you. You have 60 seconds to talk about this. Your time starts now, Safwan.
So I love to talk about marketing because that's my field of subject at university. And when we talk about marketing, there's a lot of forward thinking, there's a lot of modern ideas. But there's a saying my father said, and it's always stuck with me, is, and I'm going to speak in Bengali, sorry about this, Nobin probin niye egiye jao. Take the good and the bad of the old and new and go forward. So bring your old ideas, old techniques of marketing, and take the new ideas, the innovation, and combine them and make it synonymous together. So with the dish and marketing the dish, it is unknown and it's an unusual dish. So my intention in terms of marketing the dish would be to go about the old school ways in the restaurants with special boards. It's something I found in Italian restaurants, is introducing the customer to new ideas and new dishes would be encourage them to order off menu with a board of special dishes, rolling out the dish, obviously with a social media campaign, giving tasters to customers and the general public to make them aware of the dish, and obviously reveal all of the health friendly and the ingredients that make the dish unique. So the unique selling point of the dish is the ingredients, the presentation, which we can improve on, but actually coming with the colour and the less sugar, less salt impact. So I think that in itself, the dish will sell itself, and it's going about the marketing using their techniques going forward.
I'm going to let you. Thank you so much. They're telling me, tell him to hurry up. I'm like, don't worry, let him finish that sentence. But thank you so much for that. Well done. I'm going to come straight to our panel judges, and I'm going to come to Faisal Ahmed, and I'd like to ask you, I mean, you know, talking about branding and marketing, do you think they've missed out a few things? Like, do you think they've missed out on a trick?
Really, some of them are doing the business in the small village, so there's a different market. If it is a city, it's another market. So branding is, you can say branding, but is it depend on how many people live surrounding, because there is other competition and other things. You can't go like, you know, like one suit, you can sell it whole England.
Yeah.
There is a market, limited market. But market idea is great. Some idea, some like texting and social media like Instagram, and they going to the school, college, showing their how to cook, and you know, I think is personally which one I think is at the moment because I got the restaurant Indian as well as Thai.
Of course, yeah.
So it's a healthy option. It's like they. Some I didn't see anyone. They're using like chicken, like what is called feeding. What sort of, you know, the chicken is they're selling all the processed chicken.
Right.
They're not selling anyone at the moment in the restaurant.
Are they using fresh chicken?
The fresh, not fresh. What is called organic chicken.
Yeah.
Organic chicken. They use extra olive oil, virgin olive oil. But when you cooked. Extra virgin olive oil or
that's a good
vegetable
point.
oil is.
That's a very good point, and maybe we can ask them that in the next round. Thank you very much. I'm going to ask Mr. Huck actually, because you know, being when it comes to technology, you're the man. Do you think they're using enough technology when it comes to branding and marketing?
I think the trend is starting now, because obviously the cost of printing is very expensive, especially if you want to distribute, for example, old-fashioned of leafleting. It's still working, no doubt about it, but it's all about balancing. And the marketing, you have a limited budget, and it's important you can balance between using social media, you know, Facebook, Twitter, even text messages. Google marketing is quite powerful as well. A lot of people now doing PC, you know, spending a bit of money on Google, SEO and other things. But most important is really find a cost-effective way. And I always say, always have at least 10% of your, you know, turnover for marketing, and that's always works.
Yeah, Sharina, what did you think of that?
I think it was really good. When you asked the question, do you think there's anything that they've missed? I think events are a good thing. Maybe invite all of the media to a tasting event to officially introduce the dish, and combine that with a council-endorsed nutritionist to give the benefits of the ingredients as well.
Yeah.
That will always get media coverage. With the small villages...
So invite you basically, right?
Oh, yeah. I'll happily try the food, yeah. But I think, and this is very important, villages it's not a case that social media isn't important. Actually, with small villages, they're a tighter community. They're on the community-based village groups more often, and so it's very important because social media isn't just about advertising. It's about maintaining those relationships, having a conversation, and showing that you're not just about pushing your food and selling. It's about being part of the community, but just how we are part of the Bangladeshi community. It's important to show that you're a participant of that community as well. So I think social media is very important to build loyalty as well.
Yeah. Farah Mir, you're pretty active on social media. Would you like to give some tips on how they can actually get involved? I mean, I know Shireen has given a few tips, but could you maybe expand on that?
I'll give you a couple of really practical examples personally. We've just had the weekend. I travelled more than 40 miles to go to a particular restaurant because they kept coming on my feed, on Facebook feed over the last few months. The presentation was amazing. I just wanted to go.
Gosh,
so
I
when
hope
I
my
did
husband's watching the show today. 40 miles to a restaurant.
Listen, I've travelled a hell of a lot more than 40 miles just to go and try a dish because something just in there. If you like food, you will go, but it's not something that you'll do every day. So the guy at the beginning, I think Farhad mentioned that they don't do any social media. Shireen has already said it isn't just about getting new customers, but you don't know, I might be visiting that village or somewhere around that village, and I might just want to pop by. And if it's in my consciousness, i.e. through the social media, then I'm more likely to pop in. And it's the same with the other guys. They're all doing lots of good things. And I like your idea about doing something, event, or even charity now. We talked about that, and a lot of people do these. That's giving to the local community. I think it's really important if you're an established business and you want to be there for the long term to get people involved, give something back. People feel that you're there for the long haul, and it's really important being part of that local community as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I really do hope that our participants take all of that advice and actually utilise that when they go back home today or tomorrow back to work. I do have the results now for round 3. Are you all ready? Let's hear a cheer. Are we all ready for this? Yay, let's go. All right, so for round 3, this is the current results. All right, in 3rd place, we have Feast of Nawab with 60 points. We have Anardana Chicken with 74 points. And in 1st place, holding strong, we have Cinnamon Salmon. Well done. And that was all in the 3rd round. I'm now going to combine all the rounds together and tell you where you stand and what your scores are. Feast of Nawab with 197 points. Anardana Chicken with 234 points, and very close, Cinnamon Salmon with 253 points. Well done. Congratulations. Just a quick reminder that 60% of the points came from our panel judges, and the rest, the 40%, came from our special judges. And of course, a big thank you to our mentors for guiding and supporting them. But you can still catch up, so let the competition still be there. Let's move on to round 4. So this is all about your profit margin. What is your profit margin? How do you do it? What is the story behind it? Share your success and your secrets with us. This is where it all happens, right here on the Catering Circle Show. And obviously this show is all about the restaurant star. So I'm going to go to our first participant now for round 4. We have Farhad Islam. Farhad, are you ready?
Yes.
Again, you have 60 seconds for this, and your time starts now.
So we thought we'd price the dish somewhere around $16.95, $17.95. We're in quite an affluent area, and my average dish right now is about $12.95 in the restaurant. So I know I can price it like that, and people won't mind spending it. Average person.
Justify that. Why?
Well, the average person spends right now in the restaurant £35 a head on an evening, and we're a bit selective with in the restaurant. So we have
We have like a minimum spending as well. We're what, a 97-seater restaurant. We've been there 20 years. Everybody in the village knows us. You know, all the local clubs, everybody knows us. So they know that when we're charging something, we're not going to give them a bad product. We're going to give them something that is worth them spending their hard-earned money. That's how we see it. You know, everybody works hard to earn a living. You go out, you spend your money, you want something that's decent. So we know that even when we charge that, we're charging that money is justifiable because we're not going to give a customer something that's not going to be worth that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Gosh, this is going to be a hard one because it is the last round. I'm going to ask the next participant to make their way here. Ashmir, Fahad Islam, thank you so much. I'm going to ask Ashmir to make his way. And again, the same thing for you. This is all about the profit margin and how they're getting through this and sharing their secrets. Your time starts now, sir.
So the profit margin on that is 75% gross profit on that. The customers are happy to pay because on the focus group they've said they're happy to pay that kind of the money, $16.95 per on the dish. We actually been established for over 9 years and consistently providing top class food and service in the finest in the hospitality sector, and so the margin is great for us, and we've got buying power because due to our turnover, we've got very fortunate, and we've been using the same supplier for the last 9 years, so hence we do get a very good deal.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Well done. If I could now kindly ask Safwan Chowdhury to make his way here and also talk to us about his profit margin and his secrets behind his successful story. Are you ready?
I think so.
All right, take it away. Your 60 seconds start now.
So in the food sector, you should aim to keep your gross cost at 20%. So we priced the dish at £14.95, which includes its rice, the service of the chicken, and the sauce. And the cost we worked out at £1.50, which is just for raw materials. So we've kept it under 10%, or just about there or thereabouts. Other costs you have to consider are wastage and ingredients going off, customer complaining, and replacing the items. So you need to keep that 90%. And obviously, as Hokbay mentioned, stuff like marketing at 10%, wages, which are going to be at least 30%. So the dish has to yield enough money for you to cover your cost, your rent, your rates, your mortgage, anything else, which is what you have to consider in the food. It's not just about a good dish or anything. We chose chicken, not just because of the recipe, but actually because it's a sustainable recurring ingredient that we can always stock. There's not going to be fluctuation in quality of the chicken because the supply is always the same. There's not going to be a fluctuation in the texture because the chicken breast is always consistent. We use the same brand as a majority of restaurants. So it's easily replicable and the wastage is very minimal. So the cost control, in the sense that we know the dish has got 90% yield with the $14.95 price tag. So if a customer complains or if a dish is not cooked properly, it doesn't matter because we can make it and it will cut into the profit margin and the net profit will still be at a good margin. So that's our profit margin.
Thank you. I'm going to
Cheers.
stop you there. Thank you so much. Well done. If I could now ask you to stay there, please, and ask the rest of our participants to make their way also onto the stage. I'm now going to open it up to our special judges and our panel judges to ask questions. Do you have a question before we start the voting from our panel judges to anyone? It has to be very short. I'm literally going to time you. You're going to have 30 seconds to answer the questions. So please keep it sharp and quick. Any questions?
I think in terms of the profit margin, I think there's a decent margin there from all of them. But obviously looking into wastage and things, that's another matter. But I think generally, yeah, there's a good profit margin and they've thought through it quite well and thoroughly.
Thank you so much. Mr. Huck and Mr. Ahmed, do you have any questions?
I mean, it's all about this special dish, the creative dish you've created. I know you've covered quite a bit, Safwan, about your dish and your profit margin, but the other two participants, especially Ashbay and Fahad, you haven't said how much profit you're going to make. What's your gross profit on those two dishes, and are you really going to make any profit out of it? That's what we'd like to hear.
Who's that, me?
Yeah. Okay, you go first. You go. Hang on.
How much is costing you and how much profit do you make? It's about the dish, nothing else.
Yeah, the
dish you created.
profit-wise, you're probably looking at least like 70%, because the ingredients aren't. Because I go to the market myself, so I pick everything. So I've cut out the middleman, so my costs are low anyway, to begin with. So all the veg and everything, you know, I've noticed that when I used to get a supplier, I was spending almost double what I spend a week.
Compared to other dishes on your menu, do you think it's a better GP or is it similar?
No, it'd be better. Yeah, definitely better. Yeah.
Same question for
Yeah.
Ashfaq.
So my dish is the total comes to $3.98, but I can also buy this particular salmon from Sainsbury's as well and cut that half, and you get 2 portions out of it. So in terms of margin wise, we're on a very good margin, 70% net profit.
My question is for three of you.
You all consider on healthy option. Have you tried any one like organic chicken meat or?
Well, myself, I change the menu every 6 to 9 months. We have got a vegan menu, we've got vegetarian menu. We have a wide range of vegetarian menu items on the dish, so we constantly change the menu. As I explained before earlier on, I've got a new menu coming, it's a VIP menu, so we want to give that exclusiveness to the restaurant because it's a fine dining restaurant.
Thank you so much. I'm going to open it up to our special judges.
I think one of the best ways that you can actually charge a premium price is to differentiate your product, and I think you've done that really well. And you can reduce your costs by sourcing items that are readily available. I think you've done that as well. So to all three of you, brilliant. Well done.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Can I just ask a quick question to, I think it's Fahad, yeah? You seem like you don't need any new customers. I was looking forward to going to your restaurant. Do you get customers that are not your local?
Yeah, so I get a lot of corporate customers that come from the Midlands, Scotland, everywhere, and they stay in all the local hotels. And obviously all the local hotels recommend us. We've been at the restaurant for more than 20 years. So like we sponsor the local football teams, cricket clubs, their hotel employees come to our restaurant. I go to all the pubs. We basically serve majority of our village. So word of mouth, like I said, is the best advertisement for us. So all the people that come from outside, they go to these local places and they ask, where's a good place to eat? People recommend us, which is why we've been there for so long.
People are really recommending you. I do recommend to you, you do actually have some social media presence. I know you don't have it, but I think it would be good for you just to make people aware. And
yeah, it's not that I don't have it. We do have it, but we're not as active as word of mouth, basically. We have our own website. You can online order. You can send us direct comments, book tables, all that sort of stuff. Don't get me wrong, we are still in the 21st century, but we're not dependent on it.
Sure.
Yeah, because we're in a small village. We want to make sure that we have regular clientele, you see. So that's the aim. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'm going to come to the panel again. Now I'm going to speak to Faisal Ahmed. Now, you've been doing this for a very, very long time. Out of all the rounds, what would you say is the most important thing in a restaurant?
Two things. Whether they're doing a restaurant, when is customer welcoming, and when they finish their food, they goodbye to customer. And another things is, of course, is clean and how to present these things. End of the day, one thing is very important: taste. They know the taste, and they've been to so many restaurants, so many the type of food. They always try. If it is best taste, they always tell each. I've been to this restaurant. And these sort of things, they're always talking. When they go to the pub, they always talk these things. When they go to the home, so you have to be very careful with these things.
With taste, do I have a
Come close,
Yeah, so nowadays people are using, to go out to eat, they're using TripAdvisor to verify how the restaurant is rated. So
Do you want
Well,
to share your story?
well,
No, I'm not going to mention. I've said it
TripAdvisor, one
already. I'm
thing
not going
I'm telling you,
reiterate myself.
TripAdvisor, sometimes some upset,
So-
customer is upset, they're going to a TripAdvisor
Of
and
course,
giving
that's
wrong.
that gives both sides of the
Both
story.
sides.
It gives a transparent view to the members of the public how the restaurant is managed and how you'll get bad reviews and good reviews. You just got to manage it. It shows the restaurant cares about it.
Thank you so much. I'm going to come straight to the mentors actually whilst the voting's going on, because we do have our judges voting. I'm going to ask Ali Khan, you know, you've obviously not been a part of the judging today, but you've worked as a mentor. How, I mean, you know, it's really difficult for them to be here. Not only do they have to make the dish, there's got to be something outside of the box, but they've got to come up with innovative ideas, they've got to have the right answers. How important, you know, Dilara Khan was talking about making it different, to make the dish look different, but then you have Sharina saying, well, actually, more than that, it's the nutrition value that's important. How do you balance it out?
It's basically because these are the young star. What I'd like to say, first of all, I'd like to congratulate these three young star, because they are actually bringing more youngster within the curry industry. Because I can see, like Safwan here himself have two takeaways. The Farhad is also a very successful businessman. His father is a very successful businessman, and he's actually running the business. He's coming to the business as well, also as well as Ash. So they have actually got some creative dishes within the board that today that we have seen. And the thing is, like, four things are most important within the presentations, like when you do the dish. So presentation is one of the most important things, the aroma, the structure of the food, and of course the taste. The taste part got to be there. So I think they have actually come up with the idea, which is brilliant. Although I think all three are winner, but actually you have to choose one of them is the winner. But the way they have actually coming, I'll actually encourage more youngsters to join the industry, because we are actually a lot of the really shortage of the youngsters within the industry.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. You have a celebrity chef giving you first-hand advice right here. Thank you so much to everyone for voting. I do have the votes here with me. Are you guys ready for this? All right, so we're going to do it by round first. So let's see in round 4 where you stand. So in third place we have Feast of Nawab. Well done to Fahad Islam. And then in second place we have Cinnamon Salmon with 24 points. Well done to Ashmir. And in first place we have Anardana Chicken. Well done, Safwan. And overall our winner today out of you guys, standing in first place with 277 points. It is, of course, Cinnamon Salmon from Cinnamon Spice. Ashmir, can we please all give him a round of applause? Congratulations. Well.
To the panel as well, and the special guest.
Thank you so much.
These guys are winners as well. So, as I said, I don't feel like I'm a winner, but I want to give back to the community, and I want to encourage the younger generation to step in and get inspired. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone for being here today, our panel judges, our special judges, and our mentors. And thank you so much to our participants, and thank you to the audience watching at home. We will be back again with our episode 3 of season 3 on the 4th of September, right here on Channel S. I was Nadia Ali, your host for this evening. Thank you so much for joining us today.